We can now start Q&A time, and can I ask you to explain who you are to introduce yourself before you make a question, and explain whether you're a student, a worker, or what you do, or both. Any question? Yes, this is a question about the rich internet application part that you have commented on. There's many challenges for accessibility for rich internet application for lack of standards, and also because of the development. If you want to do open source, you cannot use those standards because they do not exactly apply. What do you think are the biggest challenges to develop software-assisted applications with rich internet applications? Question for Carol, I guess.
Working with Microsoft a week ago because they have their rich internet application for Office in the cloud, and they call it Office 365. And I told him that we have put some end users on it, and we found actually basically that nothing of the applications they have created is accessible. And he said, no, it is accessible. And then I realized what he was referring to. You open the application, Office 365, in your browser, and indeed there are 3 buttons to say change the color, increase the font, etc. But there's no one who can even reach it. Why am I saying that? You have big players like Google, Microsoft, etc. If they use specific technology, often technology that they have developed for their own browsers. For example, Chrome is specifically developed by a Google company. Then you have Internet Explorer that again supports some specific stuff from Microsoft. So you have different core players. You have different, even let's say, specific languages used to write rich internet applications. And unfortunately, most of them still do not agree really on how to develop accessible rich internet applications. Nevertheless, you have also the other extreme. For example, there are very nice solutions now for accessible CAPTCHA. Everyone knows what CAPTCHA is. It means when you fill in a form, and to avoid spamming, they show an image and you have to type over the image. Now, there is a rich internet application that combines that with audio. Very nice. But if you have this test by W3C, even by the expert, they will say it's not accessible. And do you know why it's not accessible? Because it's not in their list of rules. So I would be happy to say, oh yes, we all agree, we know exactly what we need to do. No, it's not the case. So what we have done in the project is developing some examples of accessible rich internet application, showing that to the core players and say, guys, you could make it accessible, this is what you should do, and then at the same time we also have to work on the standardizations. Because as much as we want, as long as there is no standardization, people will not pick it up. So, sorry for the long reply, but...
Sí. Bueno, hablo en español.
My name is Maria, and I work in J Adaptations, which is a company which creates and distributes support products. And my question is, all results that you have shown in different paradigms of web application, etc., are they already accessible? Can you sort of download them onto your iPhone, or will they be available at any time soon?
It's already available because you asked for iPhone. Dasher for sure is already there. You go to the iPhone market and you can download it. Dasher for Android is available. Contact Manager for Android is available, although it's a version that we are constantly updating. When we look at desktop, every application that I've talked about is available. A port for the accessibility checker, the full version, which will be launched end of August. If you look at internet applications and those that use WordPress, which is a CMS, content management system, those specific accessible plugins with MooTools, Fluid, etc., already available also in the WordPress environment. The development tools, will be combined with NetBeans. That's at least intention, so that more or less depends on what Oracle is going to do. But in the end, our project finishes end of August next year. Everything that we'll have developed will be there. You can download it. You will even get the source code. You can do whatever you want with it. Yes. And we don't charge a dime.
Una última pregunta por el tiempo.
One last question, perhaps. No more questions? Well, I do have a question for Christina. Among the challenges that you have presented to us, which do you think we can have a response to in the shorter term? I think that the two things that I commented on before, the Convention of Rights and aging, because it's a social reality, are events which will favor these support technologies. But I think that the two speakers, have agreed that markets are not easy, that grants and subsidies are not easy to get either at this point in time, so that I think that these are truly important challenges. On the one hand, discovering that support technologies and systems that are accessible on the general market will help the disabled, and our challenge is to make this in the most standardized way and at the lowest possible cost, because I think that that is what we need to do. And an example is this project, the project that you're involved in, and many other projects where we are involved. It's not a matter of just having more things. It's having more things made available to the people and put onto a market, because we will all prefer a voice over text at a given point in time. But of course, we cannot forget special needs, Alzheimer patients and many others, so that the challenge of normalization, of standardization is important, to have everything available at the lesser possible cost. But we know how to specialize ourselves in areas where you will need lots of specialization. And I think that the challenge is that more people, more bodies get involved in all this, so that we all together, if not, it will be impossible to make sure that the products reach the end users in the easiest and less costly manner, because it is the end users that will be using this technology. We need to focus on the person, knowing that we are living complicated times. On the one hand, we need to work on standardization so that everything is put on the market without forgetting specialization, because I think it would be very risky to forget about specialization. Thank you very much, Christina. Thank you very much to the two of you. And I'd like to now give two announcements. I have requested the organizers' permission to announce. I have a prize by the Vodafone Foundation on smart accessibility, and all of you who are working in developments for Android, for mobile terminals, are invited to propose ideas. And we wish you all the best, because for us it would be a great privilege to have at least one of those prizes, to get one of those prizes, or be given to a Spanish developer, or any of you who have the right eligibility. So we have a web page on the screen so that you can get more information. The second announcement is that in the auditorium there is a cocktail at 2 p.m. so that we can do some networking and comment on the presentations this morning. And finally, I'd like to thank both Christina and Carol and your participation because it's been a very interesting session. Thank you very much.